Right, video number 4. You'll have to bear with me because I can only record so much and then my phone keeps doing weird and wonderful things, so I have to do bits at a time. Right, getting back to the second video of fireworks, thunder and lightning. So, if your levels, right, remember, if you're getting it wrong with this training, then obviously you're going to have setbacks, right? And you'll see that within your dog with the condition. You'll see that if you're getting it wrong, then your dog with a condition will be showing you this, you're doing it wrong, so I'm doing it wrong. Or you'll find if it isn't working, sometimes then you've got to change it up and go back to some of the other methods at the beginning and then build back upwards like that. So you're basically going back on yourself to then go back that way forward, yeah? Sometimes you might need to do that. You can't just go from, if the dog is showing you something's working and now something's not working and it's reverting back to doing that condition, then what you need to do is just step back a bit, go back to what you was doing and then start going back to being forward, yeah? And you've got to build on that over time. You'll get there. Right, so the other thing you can try as well, I wouldn't advise workman earbuds or them muff things. I mean, yeah, if that works for you, give it a go. But at the same time, I tried all that and I found it was absolutely useless. You know, my dog ain't wanting to keep that on. It ain't staying in there and it ain't working. So that didn't work. But it might work for somebody else, right? So you can try that. If it don't work, just remember, the answer isn't to put ear muffs and ear blockers in because you're not achieving anything by real training. Because you imagine, what, your dog got to wear them all the time when this is occurring. It ain't a fix. It ain't even helping it. All you're doing is putting earmuffs and things in the ears. And if they knock them off or whatever. So, yeah, I would advise that's lazy because you're not really fixing or helping your dog. All you're saying is, well, when this happens, I'm putting these on your ears. That's even if you keep them on. Anyways, I found that didn't work, right? So don't do it. But if you want to try it, that's down to you. But just remember, you still got to do the training. So you can't just put earmuffs on and stuff and go, oh, yeah, that ain't training. That ain't even going to solve it, help it, fix it, nothing. Right, so the next thing I'd like to talk about, what I'd like you to do, I don't know if you've got one pet that's doing it, or whether you've got more than one doing it, or whether you've only got the one dog. Now, I would advise this, right? Your dog that has this condition, right, where it's really got bad trauma experiences and it's affected by certain noises, what I would like you to do, right, if you've only got the one dog, I want you to go and speak to a friend that's got a stable dog, yeah? And there's a reason why I say this. Or if you've already got a stable dog, and you've got more than one, but only one's doing it, and your other dogs are stable and don't do it, that's going to help in training, right? If you've only got the one dog, I want you to speak to someone you know who's got a dog that's stable and ask them if they'd come round to visit in those times, right? To help with a bit of training here and there, to help you out with your one. Because when you have a stability, right, and the right balance in a dog that doesn't have it, yeah, then that's going to really help positivity with the other one that does have it going on, yeah? So it will help. But it's not going to go, oh, yeah, we'll get a dog, or that one there, yeah, hasn't got the condition, but that one's got nothing wrong with it, so we'll bring that one in. Or my other one in the household ain't got it, but this one has. I've already turned around and told you what the cause of it is and why it happens. So now I'm trying to help you by fixing, correcting it, yeah, in a positive way. There used to be an old saying when I was a kid. And the old saying was that when, it's a very old thing that people used to believe was a remedy, right? So what they used to do is dogs that had this many years ago, and I wouldn't advise to do this, I really wouldn't. But what they used to do years ago, because they didn't have the methods and stuff like what I've learned, what they used to do is they used to get like a black room, or like they'd call it put them in a hole, right? So basically it's like a little black room, dark, with a door on it. And what they used to do is they used to stick these dogs in there that had this condition, and they would shut them in darkness with the door shut and say, leave them there and we'll come back tomorrow. And what they used to say was, what they were a great believer in, that dog will either fight it and we'll come back tomorrow and it'll be dead, right, chewed its face off or whatever, we'll find it dead. Or if it's fought it, it might be alive by tomorrow. And they used to do that thinking that, well, it's either going to live or die, it's down to the dog, we're just going to put it in a dark room and shut the door and let it listen to the noises all around. That's the worst thing to do, right? You don't want to be doing that, because most of the time, from what I remember, there used to be ones that did really die, and there was only small amounts of cases where, you know, a lot of them did die, and there was only like a small amount of handful. Maybe some survived, but they still had the condition. It never got rid of it. And so, even though they'd done that, then I was like, what are you going to do? Stick it in the hole again next year? And a year after? Because it isn't curing it, you know. So, anyways, right, that's a very old remedy, and I wouldn't advise it. Right, because that's like saying, well, I'll stick it in an hole, it's either going to be dead tomorrow, we'll find it dead, or we'll find it alive. Don't do it, right? My way, my method, it works. It's like any normal human being as well as animals. You can't give birth to them and go, oh, it's a genius, it can do it all. Or, you know, believe that it's not going to have no sort of things that are, what do they call it? Not traumatic, what do they call it? Phobias. That's it, phobias. Now, people have phobias. There's a lot of reason behind phobias, right? Whether it be, I don't know, snakes, birds, whatever. Yeah, it could be cars, it could be boats, who knows, planes. It could be anything, right? But humans and dogs, to a degree, are not that much difference, right? But when you find out how to do it, in some cases, when working with animals, it's very similar to humans. And in other cases, it just needs a little bit of tweaking, and there you go, you know how to help your animal, right? But sometimes you've got to try different methods to find out what works, what don't work. And I've worked bloody hard, right, for this. Right, and passing on my knowledge to help others, then I am well over the moon to have achieved this, to give this knowledge to help others. Right, so, like I say, get yourself a stable dog, right? If you've got a stable dog already, then you already know if one of your dogs is doing this, with this traumatic condition going on, and your other dog ain't, then that means whoever farted on your dog, right, whoever caused that dog to have that traumatic condition going on, clearly picked on that dog more than your other dog that you own. And that's why your other dog ain't doing it. Yeah? Getting the logic? What makes sense now? Yeah, you getting it? Right, good. Right, so it's good if you've already got a stable dog in the house to do training with. I will also advise down the line, once you get to doing the walking and stuff outside, to take your stable dog with you